Okay, Malaysia sola malwili tasil sel mergidro gui ila time kada mura tokshor git o itilagidro okya kal ngatil trate belo bangila brandim hale kung algo yung sang brandim bol open program edol molma nguli tasil se brandi ko ma tigal okya
malungili tasil se spy de ta kora to betsel shorgi del el tulungot mokringil me kuk mga mokringil al time do mesateme de natagib lang lakra 4 o'clock and the tiamal kora close to trail el show spy ma halak kora mos modi atalgib el background raw era bodomo urtal program regid ma kuk tultuira government regid el al time ya sel seldo cultura government tegid al time ay kada mga tmoker seldo kada ngin lasing integrated border management project yang ulmu laureor sera May 25 ma 26 2022 tial luriora malasmal mo makps ra border management ra Balur-Belao ma serado ngat mo kertiang kadam leo mu el logi waigel wal consultation el session sal dul ngat mokla el nyamo ulum mo sab el tiagi del el border management el magidba ma serado mu el mlaringia obisa attorney general ma project tiaw ulo kada mga tmok karingi spy da swadal gut makliling kadam lo albang la wako bid ma kurabek padingela yegidel kuk amlo result tra ko bid ma yegidel el kuk blood vessel telet tal border management yegidel asang namut kida del kuk mak peseringi mang segi del bol merek segi del hotel consultation segi del wala program and then en milgat mok la segi del executive order al tiang amle establish yourself coordinating body ra tagi del integrated border management sera al magat mok la say en ya wal blel approving ya president en yam lo sab elo mu lauriol giral tagi del integrated border. So taraykel el kurawal talang tingil ti al border management malubing tagi del urior lo mkpesa border management ta Balur-Belao leswad el mga tmokraway al digital arrival card narinya direct lulda solo ase mo integrate tarwa yelo o cheka al sulamdad lo ase identify gi dagi del kurabek padingela BS el teletail en mo mangal mo ngile secure the tial border management tra Balur-Belao so kada mal ngal tangate el al time ngatiang adala direct customs and border ma direct Japan embassy so al mos modila say Japan embassy ngatiang lawengela a Japan digital agency tiang kombalil or agency lolong ser gidel mga tmoker sel wal gigidel digital arrival card ma direct el maskida ko consultation el direct gidela ay gagidel lo makpes al border management so kaldingon more segid and then by kwel gamer tir gidel el gester gidel el al silsa makura diol ngit ma mo malakol to kora marigel bok introduce tir gidel el gester gidel ngatiang el al kapsas ngay. Okay, so with that said, I kind of gave a little background of the project that we're working on, the UNDP's integrated border management, and I want to kind of hand over the mic to Yuka, so you can maybe give us your perspective and maybe, because I've already kind of spoken a little bit in Palauan and explained it a little bit, but I want you to kind of briefly describe this. We understand that we need to renew and to create new ways of securing our borders. So tell us a little bit about how UNDP got into this project and why this is important.
Okay, thank you so much. So the UNDP started this project, the Integrated Border Management Project, in November 2021. with support with the government of Japan. So this is a 3 years project and ending in this November. So thank you so much for your support for all these integrated border agencies in Palau. And yes, so the main objective of the project is actually we started this project during the COVID time. So the main objective is to mitigate like a public health risk and also enhance capacity of the border agencies for enhancing securities around the borders. So we implemented several parts. We had like 3 main output. So one is we are working for the more strategic level. So integrated border, in Palau, they had already coordinated border management working group. It was founded also in 2021. And that was made by their executive orders, right? So you have already the team that working for this integrated border management. So it was much easier for UNDP to work together with already the team on ground. So Ministry of Finance, Bureau of Border Protections and Customs, yes, and also Minister of Aviation.
Director of Aviation.
And Director of Aviation.
That's under the Ministry of MPI.
MPI. Okay. And also, of course, Minister of Health and the Border Security team. So we all work together how to enhance border securities and also in case of the pandemic, how to mitigate the risk. So that was the main purpose. And as a UNDP also working with IOM, the different United Nations agencies, and also UNCTAD for the customers aspect. I think that already Jolene was introducing for some new systems for the customers as well. So as a UNDP, as a coordinating bodies, we work more for the governance of the border management. And thanks to all your support, I think we delivered many equipment in the airport to mitigate and enhance, strengthen public health, and also working for their, as I mentioned, for ASECUDA customer systems. And also the second part, the third part is like this, thanks to Rondi, national radio station, we are working with you to enhance awareness of the public, how the border management team in Palau is working. So that's the main 3 output that the UNDP is working. So thank you so much.
Okay, malungilam nas mo di Miss Yuka, is it Heya?
Yes.
Heya, why say? Yuka Heya ngay al program development specialist at UNDP Pacific. So that's how you come into this project. But this is very important for PLA, I think, because border management in general is critical, especially during COVID. And, with integrating Ministry of Health and MPII, these are ways for us to protect ourselves against something like COVID again, if it happens again. We're also working very close with Japan Embassy. If you may, Mr. Rio
Yes.
Nishio from the Embassy of Japan in Palau. Can you tell us a little bit about how Japan will be also assisting us in all this border management improvements?
For sure. And thank you for having me today. So before talking about like a border management efforts, let me say a few words about
Please speak up to the mic.
Oh, sorry. Long relationship between Japan and Palau, because this year marks the 30th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Japan and Palau, but our bilateral relationship is the old one. In the late 1800s, Jinjamaru reached out to the shore of Palau, and this started the relationship between Palau and Japan. And during the Japan's administration, in about 100 years ago, we did a lot of a cooperation together with the people in Palau, and even after the World War II, we'll continue the relationship. because like as you may know, like a lot of Palauan have like a Japanese family name. Like I'm aware like a 25% of Palauan people have Japanese ancestries, and thousands Japanese words in Palauan language.
Yeah.
So that tells a lot of like a deep and long relationship between the two countries. And as I said, this year marks the 30th anniversary, and we would like to redouble our efforts, not only the border management effort protection as well as other any other regions like education, health, and construction, and any other. But in terms of like border management efforts, as you said, like the demand of like tourism is recovering, and we are seeing a lot of people visiting Palau. So in that sense, it's good for Palauan economy. But at the same time, we should be aware of the risks. Somebody with bad intention can visit here and bring some like illicit activities. So we, through the UNDP project, IBM project, we would like to continue this kind of effort to enhance the Palauan border management efforts. And we are happy to be here to explain what we are doing and what we can do in the near future.
All right, thank you so much. So ngagi dal kumlas modi segi dal wase tial dal wilra dal ngole la pelur bela ma pelura shabal mal dial sab edel mo roy dringi o matamal mol mal dial ng sergid to gubet sa tegi dal toira border management ling mal close to talel direct الانشورر أدرير القوق هذا شابال المربيلا ومن direct التدقيق المقصقل مجدا of course عمل سواد المكشورر هذا بيلا ومن التدقيق المقصقل سواد مال مرينا سولير هذا شابال تقوبت direct الامباسادور أوريكاسال direct المال المصير جد التأكيد التورا border management direct lo together al sales ang arsel obis ra Bureau of Customs and Border Management engkang Jolene Spesungl engkang tiang alon nga sergid el direct ko ngarsel obisra Bureau of Customs and Border Protection tiang ngaring yamal el kora ngil el partner ngi atagid el dom ko ngil asing digital card kam kora smodi tial digital card la se el asel other sis brab esel border management mal esel systeming tial card ngaranga koral ngosugir ngaral ngoswir gid ngi tial card.
Okay, so au erak per se kora diso kal mo ay sala tial integrated border management project al implementering ya kadil Belao al implementering ya Fiji Vanuatu.
I see.
But luckily kita already ngaringi a coordinated border management working group that we established logyo a presidential executive order. So ngora ngogyo segi de kada ngora alderodra mang sayaw ulumat project ta ngora concentrate kita other belaung already kita ngora alderodra segi the working group integrated border management working group.
Oh, I see.
So ngogyo tiagi de because ngle tel tora covid and le ngora ngaringa social distancing mang katamlo introduce arrival card, electronic version. So currently, so before yung mga ngaringi segi del paper form, o yung niya ngara mga sel ngara skogi kada filler ngi, o erobem aray brablu bella ka filler segi del arrival card, al paper form, and then yung mga ngaringa COVID, sabol ngaringa COVID ang ta hospital amlo implementara health declaration form. Ang wablol tablol badang la form ngaringi arrival card ma health arrival declaration form. Leng sel arrival card ni form customs sa dimla kay kel korahmal partner ngira to kora hospital to kora health. Mang wagay kay kita.
Ako remember ako ting after nurse sa mga amlara airport del Malaya ay gal information and then mo kuram lechen sa sel procedure ilkuk mo o sige del declaration form.
Why say so koteng other hospital amle ruli sel collector sel form sel open tour belau at arrival area kama modrura other health ML medrura other customs so awan the purpose ay gay the project ta streamline egal process man the repeat
I say
OCC البدنيا لوريا رابورتر القراوة سل the repeat OCC البدنيا لوريا رابورتر قدتي cause congestion ديرغل travelers ديرغل أبو لسكو يجي كذا ميلين درام أوتوتاو
I say
من قد repeat تبتوغ OCC البروسيس را hospital المرا immigration المرا customs مرا border security را مالكورا متعرف سلطان so ngogi wai gay tel korap to challenge sa circuit en yabela wa already mle implementer tial al arrival card even though mle to kay kora challenge sa circuit hindi kadam lem ke kogi tel improve as we go ya kadam lem ke kogi tel improve mulki tay the project en nasab elabela al invite the lobangela Fiji ma Vanuatu al mora study tour ashabal el kora dimlo or sige the study tour ang nasa mamel mo bisita other agencies tiay kita digital agency Japan digital agency ma mutal bebil to include the immigration ra shabal
so tial study tour awal el comiral mol nesomil masubel wasay magrado consolidate tay gadro wil mora imol el wal kura card malubang kura mura digital wa mo blol mom sub
ogi way gay the qadqora ruli tial streamline process git reporter this time rather for a study tour yeah Palau has already started tial arrival card the electronic arrival card kora dir kangara
a beginning stage
beginning stage mang lebat to kay the challenges Rigid seragi pong yung kora serak pong nga kami unterbelaw mo.
Why say?
Serak pong yung mal nga ringay kel kora ngil experience el block west me yung oikiway kay kid kadam no sabi etal improve or tell arrival card rigid. May kay kid experience will be shared later on the show.
All right. So tiay el study tour komlol mom tigera Japan Digital Agency. So tial Japan Digital Agency nga akura milsang akura roller ngil mo so isberti tamo makarang tamo ngara kura mo amul mesering mo tamo marurung tial el card ngarang klela amul mesering sa tamo mongot mo korigi.
Okay, so to my understanding Japan Digital Agency akura centralize al niya host ay garo kuldeira yak so kalmom area Mr. Katosang mo or other three cellular Japan Digital Agency.
All right. So with that said, Mr. Kato Hiroyuki, you are the director of the Japan Digital Agency. And so this is probably something that's not new to you, digitizing because you're from Japan's digital agency. Tell us a little bit about the Japan Digital Agency and what you specialize in.
Yes, thank you very much. It's
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for having a time. So this is a very nice opportunity for me to show our digital agency, introduce our digital agency. So actually, digital agency is a new agency. So that it was established in September 2021. So and also this agency is directly under the Prime Minister. So that is a unique point of digital agency.
Okay.
So this means that we need to digitalize the public sectors.
Yeah.
Public sectors. And also not only the public sector, but also we have to read the digitalization of society in Japan as a whole.
So it's a government organization.
Yes, we are government organization, but actually, so we have 800 staffs in our agency.
Wow.
But half of them are from a private sector. That's a very unique agency.
Okay, and how does that work? Is they contracted or
Yes,
what's the?
so some of them work as a contractor, but the others work as a government officer. So usually, so if you want to become a government officer in Japan, you have to pass the exam. But if you want to become a digital officer in digital agency, you don't need to pass the exam. That is also
Okay.
the very unique.
Okay, so you want to digitize the public sector.
Yes, not only public sector, but also the private sector, Japanese society as a whole.
Okay, and so what do you do? How do you do that? How do you digitize the public sector and the private sector?
Yes, in order to that, the cooperation between the government and the private sector is very important. So as I mentioned, that we receive the person from private sectors. And also, for instance, so I'm a responsibility of the Visit Japan Web Services. That is a web services for CIQ procedures. So I have in my team, so we have six staffs. Among them, so 4 is from the private sectors. Only 2 is from the government sectors. So in order to provide the digital tool from the government, it's necessary to have experience and knowledge of the technology. So in that sense, that in order to promote the digitalization of the Japanese society, so we need experience and knowledge of technology in public sectors and also private sectors. It's necessary to combine them.
Okay, so when you say digitize, for example, the work that you're doing in Japan, what are some things that you have digitized so far?
Okay, so as I mentioned that CIQ procedures are already digitalized, and also I'm now responsibility of the invoice. So if the seller send the invoice to the buyer, so usually so the Japanese businesses prefer to use the paper invoice, but it's not efficient. It's hard to process automatically. So our agency provides a standardized specification for e-invoice. So, and the private sectors, some vendors using such standardized specification and provide the services or products to increase the efficiency of B2B businesses.
And also knowing that the public sector has a lot of older generations that work in the public sector. Does that become a challenge? How do you train people? Do you include training as well, or?
Yes, actually, I'm also the older person.
I cannot tell. I cannot tell.
I'm also the over 40. So actually, so I said that I'm now working for the digital agency, but I'm originally worked for the Ministry of Finance. I'm not the IT expert, but I'm now working for the digital agency. Unfortunately, I didn't have any training for IT, but it's possible. It's possible if I have an intention.
Yes.
I have an ambitious ambition to promote the digitalization.
And I think that's very important because one of the challenges is that people think that this is going to be new, that this is going to be something that they have to challenge themselves into learning. But I think digitization, the key to digitization is to make it more easier, to make it more friendly, user-friendly. So does that also play into some of the work that you do, that you're trying to make it more easier?
Yes, simple is best.
Simple is best.
Yes, in that sense that I really appreciate the Palau entry form. So as Jolin-san mentioned that it's very simple. It's very simple. It's a very user-friendly. So I can register my information very easily. So that's a very important point. If the government provide a digital tool to the nations or foreigners.
Okay. So now you're here in Palau to sort of consult Palau in developing these digital tools. What are some key factors that you want to focus on in developing these key factors for Palau? And what
Yes.
have you seen that you want to help also improve?
Yes, actually, so I'm now here to join the consultation session. So, but of course, so I like to share the experience of Japan.
Mm.
But it's not directly useful for the Palau because the situation is totally different. So, for instance, so we receive the foreign visitors 3 million per month, 3 million per month, and we receive the international flights 90 flights per day, 90 flights per day.
In Japan?
Yes, not in Haneda only.
In
Haneda
Haneda
Airport
only.
only, 19. So compared with that, so I think that the situation is
Yeah.
totally different. So I just shared my experience,
Mm.
but based on that, the government of Palau should should utilize the experience for their purposes.
You mentioned something about a private sector. How do you work with private sector to also implement these changes, especially with border management? Border management is really integrated with the private sector. So how do you work with the private sector to implement these changes?
Yes, that was a very difficult question. So, do you have any idea?
So just to share, those are some of the challenges that we have right now. And for example, we really need to be able to work with the private agencies, especially the airline, the travelers themselves, and the agents.
Yeah.
Because if you want a smooth process, then everyone, all of those key stakeholders needs to be part of the process. And yeah, that is something that we are experiencing right now, because we're telling the airlines that this is the requirement to enter Palau. But if the airline are not giving that same requirement to the travelers, at the end of the day, the congestion at the airport is still the same.
I see.
That our challenges are still the same. So yeah, so it's very important to figure out somehow or a way to really connect to those external stakeholders.
I see. And you mentioned something earlier when we had spoken. You want to make this easy. Yes, for the of course the people that are working, but most especially convenient for the traveler and the people that are at the end, the consumers. So is that a key to making this transition easy? Especially for Japan Digital Agency, does that work for you when you focus on the traveler or the end consumer?
Yes, actually, it is a very, very important point. So, I think that the word of the border management has many meaning. So, as you mentioned, that it's a very sensitive one or a very critical one. So, but the digital agency has a responsibility to provide a digital tool for the public sector and the private sector. In that sense, so we are just aiming to increase the efficiency of the travelers and also efficiency of the government administration at the CIQRs. That's a very clear mission we have.
Yeah, akong das sige damal ko rawngil blal the lingelo sing maral close to telel sel dagat maklik tiang al mongil mora adel so even gidel adel bela um direct el swadel sweb dingen pong biota role especially el al blather implemented tial QR code it's easy when you're flying you can just get the QR code online and then just have that done before you're there, so when you land, you're just, your head is free, and you're going into your hotel, your room, wherever, comfortable. And I think that's really important for this, is to make it swift, and but also not losing the security part of this. And I think that's one of the key parts, is how do we do this in a secure way. So with that said, Japan Digital Agency, how does Japan Digital Agency sort of keep itself secure? How does it implement these digital changes to Japan, or whatever a client that you have, and have that sort of security in place?
Yes, so actually, so we just providing the digital tool. So of course, the digital tool should be ensured the security matters. So and also that we just providing a tool, and the users is immigration or customs or Ministry of Health also care for the security issues. So because information provided by the traveler is very, very sensitive personal information, so always keep the security. So in that sense, so of course, the digital agency, Visit Japan Web, ensures the security issues, and also the government, also the ministries, custom or immigration or Ministry of Health, care for that.
Okay.
That means that the double.
Yeah. And you just mentioned Japan Web. Tell us a little bit about Japan Web. What is
Yes,
Japan
just
Web?
something like Palau entry form. So if I want to enter into Japan, so I have to register my passport information or some other information, and generate the QR code. And I have to present the QR code and with the passport at the entry point. That's all.
Okay.
No need to submit a paper document.
Yeah, now it's just all online.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Japan Web the Palau Travel.pw.
Mm.
So Japan Web is a portal over ngiyang ang ka-filler tagi del formal with sa enserikal immigration ma customs ma biosecurity questions.
Yes.
And it will also generate the QR code.
So tial digital arrival card ang mongot, or tial el QR code da ka dumol da ka ngiro ko.
Yang maldi osisu tagi del concepta actually tel doru ringir el time tagi the tel digital card.
Oh, I say.
So the Palau entry form that we are doing now is a digital arrival card.
Oh, I say.
Because it's paperless, it's digital. So
Yeah.
and the whole and one of the purpose of that is for the security of our borders also, not
Oh, I
just the
see.
data, but the security of our borders. So if you notice you've been traveling, so we're asking you to submit those information 72 hours prior to your arrival. And one reason for that is so that the border agencies can receive the information before your arrival and process them accordingly. So it will help identify threats before the flight arrive in Palau, and also help facilitate those travelers.
All right. Thank you very much for this tremendous help that you will be also providing the advice for the tour as well, but also with Japan Embassy, who are part of the PPP, which is the airport, sort of facilitating the airport at this moment. The integration will also be sort of swift, I feel. And I think that's the goal, is we really want to make this easy for us to create, but also for the traveler as well. Another thing, and I might have went over all our our questions and stuff, but another thing is Yuka mentioned how UNDP is sort of integrated into this, and so can you kind of maybe give us sort of an idea about when this project finishes? Will it continue? Like, how will this, what does it look like going towards the end of the project, and what does it look like beyond the project?
Okay, thank you. Yes, so this integrated border management project is actually the first phase. So it was the first time that we implemented, as Jolie mentioned, it's not only Palau, but also Fiji and on Vanuatu. So it's a sort of the regional project. So of course we look for second phase because based on the successful results, I think we are implementing on time and delivered a lot of meaningful outcomes. Such as study tour, digitalization, cooperation with Japan digital agencies, and of course the more tangible support such as equipment or also soft component as a training, capacity building as well. So the second phase, I think that's also we need to discuss more for the grant needs, concrete needs, what we can do to achieve overall strategy and goal for such as national plan that you have. We build together, we supported to build this integrated border management strategies with the coordination border management body. So how to implement this to achieve the goal? So maybe we need to discuss more with the coordination groups, not only Palau, but also Fiji, Vanuatu, or maybe possible extension for the another Pacific countries that we are aiming for. Of course, we need to coordinate with our donors. So maybe, yes, UNDP can coordinate with our counterparts on the ground. Also, maybe we discuss with our donor as well. Yes.
Okay, no, thank you very much. I know it's a short interview, but I've explained to Palauans that this is only a part of the IBM, the Integrated Border Management. I want to call it upgrade because we're really moving forward with some of these things. So this is only probably the we've had the director John Tagong here as well and explaining some of these initiatives, but we want to look forward to more interviews with the Border Management Committee and to understand more. And I think this was good to kind of break down some of these parts of the border management and how we can, contribute to making this a secured border management for Palau. So thank you very much, and we appreciate you coming by and giving us some of these. We hope that we'll see you again. I was just actually at the Chiyomaru rec site. I don't know if you know that, but yeah, Jinjamaru, yeah, the one next to Sam's Stores. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. We were just there. We were diving there, and I was like, wow, so amazing that we had these big, ships in Palau before, and we were really working together with Japan. So this is great that we're continuing our ancestors' work. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining us. So with that said, akong dasang adim nagigita ko kuram no sa edad pong. Would you like to leave last? No, you good? You're good. Okay, all right, we're good. Okay, mandim lagi kita ko ngal kita ko kurabe bilat lang tingin tiya gid al border management initiative dangot mo karingi laman mereng sulirar adra embassy Shabal, madirakal UNDP, madirakal Japan Digital Agency, madirakal Bureau of Customs and Border Protection no si in metallurgy el ang yakuk mo sa el smodita gid el uriol mal close to telel mo na Pelao. So dim nagigita ko sa edit mo ko mal masulang back to you spy.
Okay, malungulita sil sa sige daw lang la talk short git. Logi tial 87.9 EPFM, maraming gid in stereo.